What's happening, people? Welcome to another video. We're about 5 weeks out from the Ultraman, and I thought this is a good opportunity to take you guys through my equipment to show you what it takes to prepare, what you need to buy for an Ultraman or an Ironman or a half Ironman or any triathlon for that matter. I had to learn all this stuff like from scratch. I want to explain a bit about the equipment, what you guys need, so that you don't have to go through the same thing that I went through. The biggest bit of equipment, obviously, that you need is going to be the bike, because in a triathlon, most of your time spent on the bike. It's also the most expensive equipment that you're going to need. This is my bike. I went with the Scott Plasma DC. This is called a TT bike. I had no idea about the different kinds of bikes. I'm just learning this all new. So there's like road bike, mountain bike. If you're doing a triathlon, Ultraman, Ironman, this is the kind of bike you're going to need. You're going to need a TT bike or a tri-bike. The goal of these bikes is to try to get as aero as possible. What we mean by aero is that you've got these aero bars right here, so you can come down and you can be more aerodynamic when you're riding. Because I'm gonna be on this bike on the first day, probably about 4 or 5 hours, and then on the second day, 9-10 hours. It needs to be comfortable. What's good about this bike is you've got the built-in water system here. So what I do is I just come here, I just fill up my water in here, and then I just suck it through the tube. Now what's good about that is I don't have to come out of my aero position. I can stay down here nice and aero, take this, take a sip. And then I've also got these like compartments here, or like, you can put like extra gels and like nutrition, anything you want in there. We've got lights on the bike as well. Brakes, gears, the gears are all kind of automatic. We've got extra hydration here. Now for hydration on the bike and for fuel, I use Everybody's Activate. Now each serving has 27 grams of carbohydrates, and it also has a full electrolyte profile. So the reason we developed this is because I would see people out and they would have their hydration separate, like their electrolytes separate, and they'd have their carbs separate. And I thought, what a great idea to combine the both so you can just have one. So just one scoop of that is gonna give you all the hydration you need and also all the carbs you need to finish your workout. And the carbs are from cyclic dextrose, which is a fast digesting, slow burning carbohydrate. So it's not gonna give you stomach discomfort or anything like that. Just take a scoop, mix it with water, and you're good to go. And then I just shake that up and it just clips on the inside like that. I've also got this pack here at the back, which keeps like spare part. There's like spare tire tube, CO2 cartridge for the air, anything that you need like an emergency. Let me just show you what else is on this bike. I went with these Garmin Rally RS100. Basically what that does is that connects to the computer, and it's just gonna show you how much energy you're outputting. These pedals connect direct to that, so it will tell me as I'm riding how much wattage I'm outputting. This is a Garmin Edge 330. So basically, for all my workouts, they get linked from Training Peaks. They go straight onto here, and then I'll just clip it right here on the bike, and then I can see how far I've gone, all the kind of stats that I need, they're all on here. And if I've got any workout to follow, it all comes up on that as well. This light here on the back, that's a Garmin, and yeah, we just charged these up the night before a big ride. Also, we've got bike shoes. I just went with some regular Scott bike shoes just so that they match the bike. And yeah, obviously they just clip into the pedals and help you ride easier. So I wear these on this bike when I'm out riding, when I'm doing my big rides, and then when I'm doing my indoor sessions as well, inside the house, I wear these as well. Yeah, you definitely need bike shoes. I've got these ceramic speed chains. This just helps the bike be a little bit more smooth. And then I've also got this UFO drip. This is basically like a lube for the chain. And then I do that the night before my big ride. Oh yeah, this as well. So I'm gonna be traveling to Canada. So I've just bought this box. Now this is a Bike Box Allen. Now this is apparently the best one you can get because you don't have to deassemble the bike so much. What you have to do is just have to take off the wheels and then you put it inside. It's quite safe as well, quite sturdy. I'll let you know how we get on with this one. If we get there safely or not, who knows, we'll see. But hopefully we should be all right. Another thing I do before each ride is I make sure the tire pressure is correct. So for me, for my weight on my particular tire, I require 82 PSI for the back tire, and then for the front tire, it's 78, 79, something like that. So what you do is you just connect that to the tire, and there's a pressure gauge here, and it will just basically show you how much how much air you need to inflate. You have to make sure you do that on each of the rides as well. So when you live in Dubai and it's above 45 degrees Celsius every day, you can't always train outside. So on the bike sessions, I either have to do them really early in the morning. If I can't, I do them on the indoor trainer, which is upstairs. So this is the Wahoo kicker bike. Now I use this for all my indoor sessions. You can get the kickers that connect with your normal bike, take the back wheel off, and then you connect it to like that device. Basically, it makes the effort harder or easier depending on what your workout is. So what happens is my workouts get loaded onto Training Peaks, and then that connects through Garmin straight onto the watch. So as you've seen in some of my other workouts, the bike just connects to the watch and it adjusts it automatically based on what wattage I need to put out. These cost a little bit more than the other ones, than the ones I just mentioned. You just don't have to mess around. It's just here all the time. I can just jump on it whenever I want. I was on this thing for about 2-3 hours this morning, 2.5 hours this morning. And as you can see on the floor, it's, you sweat a lot on these. And I do have the AC on and it is cooler than being outside, but yeah, you just do sweat a lot. So I always keep a towel handy. The pedals are kind of similar pedals to what I have. They just clip on the same way that the other bike does. So yeah, just clip your shoes straight into there. You just come on like this and you just pedal away. Got the aero bars as well, just so I can simulate what it's like when I'm riding. Got the gear changes right here. It's just a good bit of equipment. You can also connect to Zwift. Now I have tried Zwift, I'm not a fan. I prefer to just do my workouts with nothing. I just like to focus on the workout. Yeah, this is the kicker bike. This is what I do my indoor sessions on. Yeah, that's it. That's the bike. That's the indoor bike. Now in terms of what I wear on the bike, I've got a few pair of these shorts, these bike shorts. And what's good about these is apparently they have the best padding. So these are quite a popular brand. They just make the ride more comfortable. Now I have ridden a bike before with regular shorts, and believe me, it's not fun. Yeah, that's not something you want to do. A 2-hour ride can feel like 10 hours. I was sore as fuck the next day. So you want to make sure you've got a good pair of cycling shorts. And then on top of that, I just wear some kind of bib or jersey like that over the top. And then what's good about these is they're really lightweight first of all, and they absorb the sweat really well. Just like a lightweight material. You can almost see through it. And then you've also got these pockets at the back. Now we're gonna move over to the swimming stuff. What do we need for swimming? Now, as the bike, I had no experience. Same thing with swimming. I didn't know what I was doing. Like if elite swimmer is here and like drowning is here, I was about here. I could just about survive if I like fell off a boat or something. So this is a buoy. Don't know how you pronounce it. But yeah, this basically goes in between your legs like that. And then it just helps with buoyancy so that you can focus on like the stroke and like the pull. So it's good for drills and stuff like that. The float, that's to focus on like the kicking movement. So you'll have this out like that. You don't have to worry about your hands, and then yeah, you just kick and focus on that move. Swimming cap, because with me, got crazy hair like I do, that's gonna slow you down. So you just wear the cap on top. So on the bike, we wanna be aerodynamic. In the water, we wanna be hydrodynamic. It's all about efficiencies. And then I also have these paddles, which I put on. And then typically towards the end of my sessions, I'll put these on. And then this is like, it makes it more difficult, but it makes you more efficient. So this is like to build up your strength. Lastly, we've got the goggles, which is, yeah, just a regular pair of goggles. And we also have this wetsuit, which I've just bought. It's a Blue 70 Fusion, I think it's called. Okay, let's open this together. I've tried this before, but this is a new one. This makes so much difference. I tried this for the first time the other day, and it is crazy. It almost feels like you're floating. This is gloves that you're supposed to use to put it on, because if you pull too hard, you can rip the wetsuit. So let's have a look, see what we've got here. Comes in a nice little bag. And this is what I'm going to be wearing for the 10K swim. It really does make you a lot faster, because buoyancy is everything when you're swimming. You want to be as buoyant as you can, just so that you can focus on the stroke. And this really does make a difference, as well as keeping you warm, because the race is in Canada, so the water's going to be nice and cold, hopefully. So yeah, that's going to keep me warm and help with my buoyancy. Okay, moving on to the run. Now, running is obviously a little bit more minimal. All you need is a pair of shoes and a pair of shorts and you're good to go. I like these Hoka shorts. I don't know what the model is, but what's good about these is they have like this kind of legging scenario going in the middle, so you don't have to wear like separate tights. You can just literally put these on. These are nice and comfortable, and then you've got the extra pockets at the back. So people have asked me if I'm sponsored by Hoka. No, I'm not sponsored by Hoka. I just think they have the best products right now, so those are the ones I wear. And if someone comes out with better products, I'll buy those. And then what I tend to wear as well sometimes if I'm going on like a longer run is like this strap. It kind of goes around your waist like that. And you can put your phone in there, you can put like maybe a bottle or something at the back. It has all these like different compartments and things like that. It's really comfortable as well, you don't really notice it on. So these are good for like, yeah, longer runs or like even races. And this is just like a standard belt from Decathlon. Kip Run, it's called marathon belt. Ankle supports. Now, sometimes my ankles do play up. I do have a lot of ankle injuries, like I roll my ankles all the time. I have Achilles tendonitis quite a lot, that kind of comes and goes. So if that ever flares up, I kind of wear these and it just gives me a little bit more support. In terms of shoes, for my long, easy runs, I go with the Asics Nimbus 25. This came out quite recently and this is really, really comfortable. So if you want to do any long runs, any recovery runs, I really recommend this shoe. It's got like really soft padding here on the inside. It's got loads of padding. It's really lightweight. Also, we've got the Hoka Mach 5. Now, this is kind of like a daily trainer. It's a very versatile shoe. So it's like got some really soft foam and it's quite fast as well. But if you want to do long runs, you can do long runs as well. This is probably my favorite shoe at the minute. I've been through around 6 pairs of these. They're also good if you're traveling. Like if I'm traveling and I can't bring like 3 or 4 pairs with me, I can only bring 1 or 2 pairs, I'll definitely bring these. I might race in these in the Ultraman. I might. It's between these or these. Now these are the Alpha Flies. These, in my opinion, are Nike's best shoe when it comes to like racing. I don't think there's anything that really comes close to this. They've got obviously the Zoom foam. They've got carbon plates, fully carbon plated. And yeah, if you want to run fast, this is the shoe, okay? It can be a little bit uncomfortable if you're going for like a long, slow run or like a recovery run. So I wouldn't recommend it for that. But if you want to race, you want to be fast, this is the shoe. If it was a little bit shorter distance, like if it was a normal marathon or like if it was a 50K, I'll probably wear this. But yeah, it's 50 miles, so I might not be comfortable towards the end. So that's why I might use that instead. So we'll see on race day. I'll definitely be taking both of these with me and then we'll see on the day which ones I'm gonna wear. I've only worn these for the Dubai Marathon. So yeah, these haven't really got a lot of miles on them. They do wear out quickly, so I don't just wear them all the time. They're a pretty nice shoe. And it's also nice to train in regular shoes without the carbon plate so that when you do race, it just gives you that extra. Inside the shoes, you need a pair of socks. Now I always wear for races in Gingy socks. Now, when I discovered these were a game changer as well because you don't blister as much. They've also got like the toe separation, I'll show you. Because yeah, when you're running for long distances, your feet kind of like, your toes especially, they kind of bang together. And then also the last bit of equipment I'm gonna show you is my Garmin heart rate monitor. I do wear them on bike rides sometimes, so I usually wear it for my aerobic runs where I want my heart rate to be as low as possible. So for me, my aerobic threshold is 149. That's based on my age. Just goes right around your chest like this. And that connects directly to my watch and it will tell me how many beats per minute my heart's beating at when I'm running. So now we mentioned the watch, I'll tell you what watch I've got. I've got a Garmin Phoenix 6S Solar. Now, it's not much different from the 6S except it's supposed to be solar powered a little bit. It's supposed to give you that extra boost. How much boost does it give you? I don't really know, I've not checked. But yeah, I bought this watch when I first started running 2 years ago and I haven't changed it. I like it, the battery life's really good. Gives me everything I need and very easy to use. Like I've worn this on like more than 10 ultras and also in all my training, and it's in pretty good condition. It's not beat up that badly. Another thing I want to show you guys is what I usually bring to races with me. So So for these long races, you tend to need like a lot of stuff. This is like my kind of injury prevention medical kit kind of thing. First one we have in here, Body Glide, or any kind of anti-chafe cream. Now you're gonna need this in all your special areas. So you're gonna need it around here, all around these areas, just anywhere where there can be potential rubbing. When I first started running, I didn't know what this was, I didn't use this, and I just had chafe everywhere. It was fucked. So make sure you use this. It's gonna save you a lot of pain and suffering, especially for cycling. For cycling, you really need this. Also deep heat or biofreeze. This is good for your knees, especially after like long runs, you need this. That's a lifesaver as well. It's good for your joints. I also use this muscle rub by Leaping Fish. I tend to use this after my runs, so it's good for like recovery. This tape, kinesiology tape. Now, as you know, I've had a lot of tendonitis in the past, and this just really helps out with that, just because it takes off a little bit of the pressure. So it's basically like stretchy tape. So you stretch it, apply it on the area, and it kind of just aids the joint or the muscle, and just takes a little bit of the load off. So I definitely use that as well. Ice spray, this is another thing just to like cool you down, to cool down your joints or cool down like your problem areas. Also, if like you have like a minor injury, like a twist or like a minor sprain, if you roll your ankle, this is always good. So I always take this with me as well. On some races as well, they also require you to have this like emergency blanket. So this is worst case scenario, if you're out there somewhere and no one knows where you are, at least you've got that to keep you warm. So that could potentially save your life. So I always take that with me as well. Plastic cup, also just extra pins in case I need to pin my number on or pin something. This is just regular talcum powder, regular baby powder. So that usually goes well on your feet. A lot of the times on long runs and long races, your feet get wet. So I just dab a little bit of that on if I have time, and then I'm good to go. This is kind of the kit you need just for injury prevention, or if something does go wrong. No matter what happens in these ultras, you're gonna have problems. Like, there's no way you're not gonna get blisters. There's no way your feet are not gonna get torn up, or you're gonna have like, these are just to help them a little bit. They won't do it 100%, but at least they'll make it a little bit more less painful. So that's the equipment. That's everything you need. It can be overwhelming because obviously you need a lot of stuff, but just start slow. Figure out what bike you need, figure out what swim stuff you need, and just, this is what works for me, but obviously you have to go what works for you. So yeah, try it out and see if it works. We did touch on nutrition here a little bit, but in the next video, we're gonna be diving in a little bit more to what I eat to fuel me for my workouts, and also what I'm gonna be eating on race day. So make sure you tune in for that. We'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.